Hello, my gorgeous light beings, my star seeds, my light workers, my healers. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, the Pleiadian Priestess. I have a juicy reading for you guys as always, so stick around for the topic of today's reading. Hello, guys. If you stuck around, the topic of today's reading is going to be how would a stranger describe your personality? Okay, so that's what we're going to be getting into. I've done a reading about how people would describe your personality versus your looks. Now we're just sticking basis. I'm strictly the personality. Okay, how would a stranger, someone who does not know you, who's meeting you for the first time, that kind of thing, how would they try to describe your personality to someone who would say, who doesn't know you? Okay, for example. So for group one here we have unicorn. I love the cards that came out, by the way. For group two we have starseed. And then for group three, we have Phoenix. So you're going to choose the card, the image, the energy, the number 1 through 3, whichever calls out to you the most. You're going to then go to the timestamp and choose the reading based on the card that you guys chose. Okay, I tried to use corresponding emojis to make it somewhat easier. So you'll choose the emoji that kind of goes most with what you chose, and I'm pretty sure there is a emoji for most of these cards here. So without further ado, I'll be seeing you guys at your reading. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the unicorn card, then you are in the right place. Welcome. Today, we're going to be going over how would a stranger, how would people, how would anyone, mostly people that don't know you, how would they describe your personality. So, you're going to get a little snapshot of how people who don't know you that well view you. Okay? Or maybe if you want it to be for people who know you that well, then try that. But today I wanted to go in with the vibe of how do people who are first meeting you or who maybe have heard about you from someone else, how do they view you kind of thing, because those people would be strangers to you. So that's what we're going to be getting into. Already with the unicorn, you are giving off someone who is like very I'm hearing whimsical, magical, kind of like almost too good to be true. Also someone they've literally never met before, so people could go to other people and a stranger would be like, oh my gosh, this person was like literally unlike anyone that I've ever met before, you know? Hold on. I kind of want to tip off the fan because it's very loud and it's distracting me. Okay, sorry. So yeah, they would most likely describe you as someone who is they've never seen before. Like you know how we describe unicorns as people who are like not of this world. Essentially, they would also call you otherworldly. Otherworldly. Why can't I talk today? Oh my gosh, what the heck? Anyway, yes, they will call you otherworldly, magical, whimsical. Because I'm getting a vibe like I'm hearing coquette, I'm hearing cottage core, I'm hearing like very bubbly, girly, pastely colors. If that is not you, that is what your personality gives. You can dress with the darkest and dankest of colors in the baggiest of things, like, and people will still say their energy, their personality is like very light and bright and something I've never really met before. Like it's hard to explain or put into words is also what I'm hearing. So people find you hard to put into words, your personality. They're like, maybe sometimes you act one way, sometimes they act another way. And they're just like, I've never seen someone who could be both, like dark and light at the same time. So you know what it's giving me? Your energy is like very light and out of this world. So they're naturally attracted to you, but your personality may be a little off-putting to some people. So it's like, how do I feel so attracted to them? But then they're also just not someone who I would describe as what their energy is giving me, if that makes sense. So someone who is, like I said, wearing the darkest of colors, baggy clothes, maybe like dark makeup, like a very stay away from me kind of face, but then the vibe and your energy is very much like come to me, like a siren, a fairy, like it's just out of this world. You want to know more. I'm hearing an odd occurrence or an anomaly. That's what came through as well, an anomaly that just popped into my mind. So yeah, like wow, she dressed in the darkest of colors, but her personality was so light and bright and bubbly. Oh my gosh, she dressed in the brightest of colors, but her attitude was like so dark and moody, mysterious, that kind of thing. So you're kind of like a juxtaposition, which is why you're a unicorn. They never met someone like you before. Like, oh my god, I usually feel like I'm a good judge of character, and but most of the time, how people dress is how you view them, or how their personality is, because their personality is showing off through their clothes. This person, no man, like, or no girl, it wasn't that way. It was very different. I'm hearing there's something, I don't want to say weird, but weird about your eyes. I don't know if they're like super intense or super just like I just keep hearing intense, like super. perceptive. You're catching everything. I'm seeing like cat eyes, like tiger's eyes. Yeah, I'm getting like a weird feeling now. Like this person thought they're in the presence of like a vampire or an alien, or like I said, a creature they've only read about in books. That kind of thing is your energy. So I'm hearing like glamour magic. Maybe some of you guys use glamour magic. You use oils, you use articles of clothing, jewelry, you use candles, things of that nature to come off as you aren't, you know? And people can feel that. They're like, I feel called to like a siren, but why would we feel called to sirens? They're gonna kill us, you know, that kind of thing. They call you to kill you. You know what I mean? Um Also, what's it called? Mute, it's not muses. What were those? Maybe they are muses, I'm not sure. But those lore, the things from lore where they sing their song to you and you come in to their island, that kind of thing. So music, maybe there's something about your personality that screams that you're a musician, you know, or that you sing. I'm hearing like a fairy, how fairies sing beautifully, like a bird song. Maybe you have a bird song with you that, and that's what calls people to your personality. That's what a stranger would say. Like there's just something about that person, you know. That's like weird. That's off. That's interesting. That's intense, and it's just like it's scary, but it also pulls me a little closer, you know. It's something I never thought was actually out there until I met someone who was like that, you know. Um, Unicorn is also like a spirit. So in this deck with the animal spirit oracle cards, there's earth, there's fire, there's air, there's water, and then there's a spirit element. And it's funny how I can't really put you or place you because you're a spirit element. Like you're something where your soul just calls to people, that kind of thing, you know, where it's not something distinct about your personality. 'Cause I'm pretty sure if someone were to ask you, so what did you like so much about them, or what called you to them? They're like, I don't know. It was just something about them, you know? So it's kind of like maybe you give off star seed vibes where you're not of this earth and they just want to know more about you. And I feel like it's something about your eyes that's coming through very strong here for my group ones, okay? So we have unicorn. Maybe some of you could be blind. I That just came through as well. Or maybe you wear glasses, which is why you're legally blind, so you have to wear glasses, which is why there's something about your eyes. Of course, immediately when you wear glasses, I do feel like from what I've experienced, people who wear glasses, their eyes seem like bigger somehow. Not the bifocals, not those ones. Those make your eyes smaller and beadier. So maybe some of you could wear those as well, just glasses in general. I know with my sister, like I wear glasses, but when she wears glasses, her eyes like get really big, you know, and it accentuates her eyes, you know, and her eyelashes. Because her eyelashes are already long, so they're like accentuated whenever she's wearing her glasses, that kind of thing. And that's what I'm like noticing about you. There's something like someone's being called to your eyes. And people do say that the eyes are the window to the soul. So no matter what you wear, no matter how off-putting or attractive you are, it's your eyes that are drawing people in, you know, that are saying like I'm different, like beware or come closer, that kind of thing, or both. Which is why like I don't know why I felt called to her. She was scary, or I don't know why I was called to him. He was scary, but his eyes were saying come hither, you know. So maybe you do have some come hither eyes, and people would say they have those siren eyes, you know, or angel eyes, or hungry eyes. All of those songs are coming through. Okay, so I felt called to pull from this deck again. So we're gonna pull another card from the animal spirit oracle deck. Can I get one more card? How would strangers describe group one's personality? You have a cobra, yes. I'm hearing striking while the iron is hot, poisonous, but healing. It's what I just heard. So you may attract like, I don't know, bad people. Like I don't want like, you know, scary people, that kind of thing. Because it's like people are naturally drawn to you because you're like, I'm hearing a healing agent, a cooling agent, a relaxing agent. It's like anybody will feel good in your presence, and they're just like, I'm not okay. So I'm getting an energy of, for example, someone who's like very antisocial, or they don't like people, they're like very mean, or someone who usually wouldn't walk up and want to talk to anyone, they keep to themselves. They're just like, wow. I'm like, and look, I'm hearing snake charmer as well. So people who usually aren't as friendly or open or wanting to talk to people that much feel called to you, and they're telling their friends or telling someone else like, wow, like I was called to this girl, this guy, I don't know why. Like, you know me, I'm not friendly. I don't usually like people or talk to people, or I usually stick to myself if there was just something about this person that was calling out to me, you know? I'm also hearing that song by Lil Wayne and Mario. I can feel your heart. No, I can hear your heart crying out for me. So there's something maybe like melancholy about you that's calling out to you. And it would make sense with those like the Greek mythology lore that I'm talking about, how the girls call you to their island, you know? And I was just hearing about them because I was watching an episode of Charmed, and they spoke about those girls. And I think they're muses or something where they call you to their island and they make sailors crash. I don't know why it's not coming to me. They could be sirens, could be muses, could be another word completely. But that those are coming through. And I'm pretty sure if it's coming through, you know what I'm talking about. The name was just not coming. It's like a snake charmer, how snakes are usually menacing and mean, that, you know, but you play your little music. And I was talking about music. Exactly. There could be something here about you being a singer or an artist, you know? Or when you're in your element is what I'm hearing. Whatever your outlet may be, or your profession, or your hobby, you know. So I'm giving the example of a singer. For example, how snakes are usually very mean and menacing and scary, and people wouldn't usually go for them, or people would usually stay away from them, either or. Your person, the stranger describing you, would be someone who would be described as a snake. People don't go to them. Or you could be described as a snake. People do not wouldn't usually come to you. But as soon as you start singing, you start giving off that like energy of come here. And you're charming the snake, essentially. People would also be like, you're very attractive, and you charm the snake in their pants, okay, if you want to go that route, okay? There, it could be something unusual about how you look or how you dress, and it's like I'm not usually called to that kind of vibe. Like, you know me, man. I just keep hearing that, so it's like it could be mostly guys talking about you. Like, you know me, man. I usually go for like the blondes with the big boobs, da 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 da. But this girl, like, she's not my type, but I was so drawn to her, you know. And I've never met anyone like her before, and it would make sense if you're only going for one type of person, you know. So that is kind of the example or the way I'm being called to explain it to you guys right now. So yeah, we have a cobra. I think cobras are poisonous, but if there's something here about them also being lethal, venomous, but fascinating is what I'm hearing. Interesting. So you know what? I want to read the book a little bit for these animals. I wish they had the numbers instead of me having to go look. I mean, that would have been helpful. I gotta go scrolling. I feel like it would be in this. Let me just see. So the cobra is pausing, waiting, the inner teacher, a student of life, humble and wise. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. See, that could also be why they feel called to you. They feel called to you spiritually because you may have something they need, you know? Like I'm hearing like a ominous whisper in their ear that's telling them to come closer. Yes, given that kind of they're under a trance, you know, or in a trance whenever they're with you. If they're a snake, you're charming them, you know? If you're the snake, others are being charmed by you, you know. The cobra hovers and watches, and there was something about your stare that was coming through. Ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher, and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. So people could also describe you as someone who's like, I'm hearing lying in wait for them to come. You know, like I am getting the weirdest sense of like, I don't know. I'm hearing, I want to say deja vu, but that's not what I wanted to say. So people could feel like they've met you before. And people are going to be like, I've had the weirdest sense of deja vu. Like, I've met them before. And it could also be that you guys did have, like, you have past lives with many people. Because you could be like you could be reincarnating multiple times as a teacher for a lot of people. So I'm hearing mentored a lot of souls, and whenever they see you or they meet you in this new life, it's like, dang, I've met them before. But it doesn't matter how you show up in this life, what your aesthetic is, whether they would be interested into you or not. Interested in you, into you, it doesn't matter. They still feel called that they've known you before, you know? Hmm. Like there's something about that is like soothing. But you know like what I'm hearing? I don't know what show or movie this was, but I do feel like I'm getting like a sense of like I've seen this before, I've been here before. It's like I've been waiting for you, you know, and like it has to have been like it had to have been like a vampire movie or something. It had to have included some kind of magic, but it's like I've been waiting for you, and the person in the movie has been like waiting for the girl love interest or whatever. Like I've been waiting for you, and it's like the girl's like, why is this person so mysterious and cool and just like ominous and just like smoke and mirrors essentially, like. And it's kind of like maybe it was a book that I was reading as well. I feel like it could have been a book. Maybe it was the book or a movie. I mean, it wasn't a movie or a show, it was a book. And the person in the book is like, I've just been waiting for you, you know, like you, that there's a reason you feel called to me. We're meant to do something in this life together, where we met each other before, we manifested each other, that kind of thing. It's coming through like that, but more like, you know me. And it's like an ominous whisper in your ear, like under a trance is what I'm saying. And I do feel like in a lot of like vampire shows, there's something, it's like you compel someone to do something. You can convince them to be forgetful or forgot that you sucked their blood, or put them under like a little spell, because there's something that's like, I don't want to say higher or more magical about you guys, but there's something that sets you apart where people know you're not normal, you know? But I feel like it's in a good way or a weird way, or in a way they want to figure out, you know? But yeah, people are like, this person was like just so interesting. I wanted to know more about them, and that's how they're like describing your personality to other people. So now I want to get into like specifics of what your personality is like with the tarot cards. I heard to also read for the unicorns. Let me find the unicorn and read about the unicorn. The unicorn is spirit, thankfully, so I know that's the back. Okay, maybe it's this one. Hmm? And with you being the spirit element, it would make sense how you heal people's spirits. It's like a energy worker. Okay, the black egg, but where's the unicorn? Here we are. The unicorn is reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This is literally what I was just saying. So maybe I needed to read this to, like, double down on what I was saying. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. So I want to go to keywords. Hold on. Do they have keywords here? No. So the unicorn is connected to the sixth chakra, okay? It's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides at the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the Anja chakra, our command center. See, and I was telling you, people are commanding you, you command them, they feel compelled to talk to you, or you make them forget. See, I have a story. Give me a second. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our two eyes see the past and the present, while the third eye peers into the future. So the Cobra card was also talking about wisdom and teaching. So there's something connection. So people talk about how you are wise, how they learn things from you, how you open your mind. Like, you ever just go out and meet that one person that kind of tells you things you've never heard about, or lived this fantastic life, and you're just like, wow, like, you can't be real. Like, how are you only this age? Or you've been around so long and you've experienced all these things. Like, I never, like, is that what life is all about? That kind of thing. So maybe you are the kind of person who teaches people the meaning of life. Or after an encounter with you, they go on with more, I'm hearing gusto, to live their life better or more efficiently or something along those lines. Or you meet someone who inspires you in a kind of way to be better, live more fearlessly, dangerously, recklessly kind of thing. Because I want to have those experiences too. I didn't even know those were possible. You just always meet that one person with the craziest stories. That's who you're coming off as. But there's a story that I was talking about in another reading. Honestly, are there keywords for the unicorn? Let me just check before I. No, there isn't. Okay, so on TikTok, I was scrolling and I saw this guy who was explaining him seeing another woman on TikTok explain a story of meeting a vampire. And he was like, her telling me her story triggered a memory in me where I met a vampire. Well, I feel like I could have met a vampire a long time ago because some of the things she was saying still correlates to what I went through as well. So, for example, in the story, she was like how she can't remember exactly what the person looks like, their face or anything, but she remembers just their voice, essentially. They have like a very otherworldly, magical air about them, and the things they were telling them was like this crazy things they never heard before. So this guy was like, I saw someone on TikTok explaining their experience with a vampire. Okay, she was an Uber driver, and I have a similar experience where I met this guy online. He invited me over to his house. He sent me a map quest. I think it was quest map, whatever. I've never heard of this. I don't know what he was talking about, but a map quest or something of the directions to his house. I went over to his house. It was big. It was quiet. He said there was a feeling of it felt empty and unlived in, but it also felt homey. And that was where I was like, already this feels weird. And what was I saying about you guys coming off as someone who is nice or has a good energy about them, even if you come off menacing and scary? You know what I mean? That's what he was literally saying. Okay, so this story was relevant. I was feeling called to speak about it, but I wasn't speaking about it. So I'm like, just say it, okay? He was like, this energy of the house was like a lonely and empty and vast and cold, but also homey. I couldn't explain the feeling that I was feeling. Then I went to his bathroom, so I had to use the bathroom, and I saw like a book on top of the toilet. And he was starting to read the book, and the book went back as far to the beginning, and they were talking about like the people were like drawings. They started off as drawings in the book of people with black, dark skin, and like, or the color of the drawings were black, so the person drew them in black crayon or marker, charcoal, whatever. And then as he kept progressing, it started like being real pictures from back in the day, old pictures, and they started becoming more current. So it was like basically giving like a family tree. And then he went back to the guy and said, this book is really weird, like what is it, why is it in the bathroom, whatever. And then the boy told him it was a story of like the Ananuki, like I still don't know the proper name of how to pronounce it. But he was like, this is the story of the Ananuki, whatever. And then he said he started telling him all these crazy things about how the government is this and we've been around for centuries and da 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 da. And he was like, what? Like, and then when he left, essentially, he went back home and told his brother all about it because this guy was like dropping wisdom. Like he was like a teenager, and he said his parents were on a trip, and they usually wouldn't like him bring anybody over, but they'll never know, that kind of thing. So when he left and went to explain this whole story to his brother was like, "Wow, that sounds crazy. Like, I want to meet him." So they used the map quest to go back to that same exact house or spot or location. Just to find it was an empty lot. There was no house there. And whether this was a real, actual story that happened or a fake story, it's kind of your vibe. People meet you, you feel homey but not homey at the same time. You tell them things about conspiracy theories or government or the things you've experienced in your life that seem kind of like too good to be true or unreal or just like otherworldly, like very experienced essentially. And then they leave and they're going and explaining this to other people, and when they're trying to like recall your face, your voice, or something distinct about you, they're just like, I don't know, it was just their energy. So that's definitely what's coming through for you guys. So I do feel like it also makes sense with what I've been saying so far. Okay, so you need to move over more. Sorry. So it's not moving. Okay. So please, Spirit, how would people describe their personality? How would a stranger describe their personality? We have the Page of Coins. I'm hearing welcoming but not welcoming, friendly but not too friendly. Here we have the King of Swords, and that makes sense with the King of Swords. Yeah. So someone who's only here to teach, which 100% makes sense because the Cobra was the teacher. So someone who's only here to provide wisdom and knowledge, someone you're not supposed to get close to. which is why you have that cold and aloof energy about you. But then you're also, people are drawn to you because they're drawn to you because, like, I've been waiting for you. It's like you, yo, I don't know. I just keep getting a sense of deja vu. I'm like, I know the book I'm talking about, the show I'm talking about, the movie I'm talking about, but I can't recall the name. Exactly your feeling, exactly your vibe. Like, I know the movie I'm talking about. I know the book. I've read it. I obviously recall what I read, but I can't for the life of me tell you the name. So people may not be able to remember your name, but they remember what you told them. They may not be able to remember your face, but they remember your voice. You know, they're not gonna they don't remember anything, but they remember how they felt. You know, that kind of, yeah, hard to grasp. But anyway, that it's like I've been waiting for you, and like you're there to teach them something, and then when you teach them that thing, you're never supposed to meet again. But you knew you were there for to meet them for a reason. They didn't. And then when you're like, we met for a reason, or I've been waiting for you, or finally we're meeting, I have some things to tell you, that kind of thing. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I've never met you before. We don't know each other. How were we supposed to meet? But but they don't. This is weird. This energy is like a little crazy, if I'm being honest. And look, we have two of wands to teach, to show the way, to guide, essentially mentor, teacher, wise, wisdom. That's the personality you get. People know they're not like you weren't meant to be in their life forever, but you were there to have that specific conversation with them. And then when they go and meet someone else and they have that same experience, they're like, oh, I know who you're talking about. That could be what this is. All the people you meet, they may never see you again, but you like leave an impression on them. As someone who is wise, someone who is like very welcoming, but also not like, it's like, get comfortable, but don't get too comfortable. Is what your energy tells people, or how they describe your personality. Like, I was comfortable with them; they were cool people, but there was something that about them that said like, stay away, or I'm not. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. For if you want to make it more, if you want to dumb it down more. This person could have met you, had a good fun time. You guys did the doodly do, whatever happened between you guys, and then you just left. Or by the time you woke up, by the time they woke up, you were gone. So just like, wow, this person was here for a good time and a long time. Like, how can I explain how I met them or what it felt like? I know I'm never going to see them again. You know. Interesting. Okay. But that's the energy that keeps coming through no matter the examples that I gave. You 1 second you were there and then the next minute you weren't, which is why you would be coming through with someone who's like magical. Like, I just looked and I saw her and then I looked away and left and she disappeared. Like, those scenes in the movies where the people like disappear behind the bus. That was you. Like, I saw her and I looked at her and I knew that I knew her from somewhere, but then when I looked back she was like gone. And it was like, I'm here. It wasn't time yet for them to meet you. Who are you, Group One? What the heck? Like, it wasn't time yet. You meet people when they're supposed to meet you, or when you have something to give them. Maybe when they're ready to move on to the next phase. Like, like, for example, being the example of someone who only wants to sleep around, and you are someone who's supposed to drop a kernel of wisdom on them when they're ready to level up and become a husband or a wife or a partner. And when you meet them, they've seen you before, but it was like so brief, it was so fleeting that they don't remember seeing you, but it was because you were there, because you're a spirit guide or a mentor. This is crazy, honestly. The energy I'm getting is crazy for you guys. You're a spirit guide or a mentor, so you kind of always know where they are at all times. You're following them essentially, but not following them. So they see you behind, they saw you on a bus stop and the bus came and got you, or the bus passed and you were gone, because you saw them, you kind of connected with their energy for a second, and no, they're not ready. So they weren't meant to meet you. Disappeared. Now you keep meeting up with them in different aspects of their life, waiting for them to reach that point where your wisdom will be vital to them when they're ready to move on. And every time you see them, it's like, no, not now. But they know, they remember seeing you somewhere before. That could be where the deja vu comes in. But they have never officially met you, or you haven't talked to them, or maybe you did, but you made them forget, because with the unicorn controlling the third eye chakra, and it's the command center of the brain, you commanded them, compel them to not remember you, or to only remember what you said, not your face, so they'll never be able to find you again, that kind of thing is very weird. But yeah, so you see them and you keep running into them, or if you want to make it more, like I said, dumbed down or simpletony, this is someone you're supposed to be with or someone you're meant to meet in your life, but it's kind of like you guys just always missed each other. Like down the line in the future, you can tell this was your person, but you guys, when you guys meet and you guys are talking about your life so far, you're like, I have been in all of those places. Why have I never met you before now? Because you weren't ready to settle down. That's why you didn't meet them. You weren't ready to settle down. So there was no reason for you guys to meet if you guys want to be playing games with each other. Now, when you meet further down the line, I was at that party, Aaron's 21st birthday party. What do you mean? I was there. That was my best friend. That was my boy. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like you've been all the same places, but you guys have never met until now. So there is that sense of familiarity, that sense of deja vu. I've met you before, I've seen you before, I know you, because your energies have been very close, but you never met until now. That could be what it is, to explain it in a more like, easy to understand way that's not, moving too much into the woo woo of it all, So Two of Wands, you meet when you're ready to embark on a new journey. You're meant to be their spirit guide. Like a cute, sassy, ominous, speaks in riddles, spirit guide or oracle, if you will. But they tell you just enough for you to fulfill the prophecy, but they don't tell you everything. They're just supposed to figure out something on your own. They can't give you all the answers, but they're there to guide you in the right direction, essentially. And that's literally how you are to people. Yeah, Page of Coins is someone you just meet. You meet them on a night out. Just they think it's coincidentally, but it was actually written in the stars or something along those lines. And it's like they met you and then you were gone. And it wasn't anything long term. They met you. You guys had a productive conversation because I feel like out of all the pages, this one is the more solid. They're giving you money advice. They left you with like a little kernel of something. It's not feelings, it's not conversation. It was like something that grounds you, a kernel of wisdom that can bloom or blossom, or seed, you can call it, that will blossom into a fully grown tree or orchard or a farm. You know what I mean? But they started you off with your first seed of wisdom. So, but then you never met again. It was that one encounter. So people, like, it's giving me that I posted like a picture or like a quote or something to my community tab where it was like the stranger you met that you were nice to that one time will never forget you. So never stop being that nice person that you are. Because this one person that who obviously met you, the stranger, never forgot what you told them, and it may have helped this person become a better person with the King of Swords. Like, you know what I mean? You were there, you dropped knowledge, you know what I mean? You were cool, you were aloof, you were smart, you were very tactical to the point, you know what I mean? Logical. And then you kind of launched them into this journey of Two of Wands, finding themselves or actually living more life is what the Two of Wands could mean as well. Going on more adventures, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations for growth's sake. Because you kind of told them all your weird stories and then you inspire them essentially. So can I get one more card, please? How they describe their personality for my group ones, please? How would a stranger or a specific stranger that seems to be would describe their personality? Like were they even really there that I even actually meet them? They were a unicorn. Like I remember meeting them, but I don't remember meeting them or I've never seen them again. And that was the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is someone who is quite aloof, someone who you may have a crush on and you like them, but it didn't go farther beyond that, or someone who was bored, someone who's a little standoffish, emotionally removed from the situation, but you still felt called to them. So emotionally standoffish, okay, but people still are drawn to you, essentially, is what keeps coming through. Here we have the Judgment. Yeah, see, when you're meant to have an awakening, that's when people meet you. Or when they're meant to have an awakening, that's when people meet you. Like, oh, this person really opened my eyes. I just keep hearing bro. It really opened my eyes, bro. So you meet a lot of bros. Maybe you turn guys who are, nonchalant into people who are chalanting. You turn guys who are, frivolous, or maybe you literally made a guy want to settle down, even though he's used to not wanting to settle down. You have the star card here, Aquarius energy, in the star seed is confirming my star seed theory. So some of you could be star seeds. And for example, for a reference, everyone doesn't have to resonate as a star seed just because it comes to a reading. Those who resonate with that will know. So if you're like, I'm not a star seed, then that's not message is not for you. But I do feel like the star is coming through to confirm that little tidbit of information. If you ever thought you were, ever felt you were, maybe you definitely are, and you should maybe look more into which one you are, because this stranger could have been a part of your family. I mean, I think you would know that. I'm just putting that reference out there for people who I have to kind of simple dumb things down for, because things like too, like I said, out there and woo woo for you. I have to make it more, simple, in simple terms. So you may not have embarked on your star seed journey yet, but people would describe you as someone who is, out of this world, who is very unique. Okay, who has a very different approach to life. Okay. I'm hearing innovative, which is also Aquarius. And I didn't want to say Aquarius with unicorn and star. So that's coming through as well. Scorpio, you also do have that intensity judgment card here. People feel like they finally woke up from a deep slumber whenever they talk to you. And it could be about politics. It could be about housing. It could be about the dilemmas that are going on in the world that we in America are not told about, the things that are actually happening that they don't tell us about, and you're like opening their eyes, making them more aware of something. Star card, like I said, very unique. You were there but you weren't there. Fascinating creatures, what I just heard as well. And I'm hearing, or seeing, whatever, either way it's all the same for me at this point. When you've done readings enough, I'm seeing, hearing, they're all the same. I'm seeing it and hearing it. Okay. The movie Beautiful Creatures, which I do feel like it's about a girl who moved to a town and met this guy, and they immediately felt drawn to each other. I do feel like he was a vampire. He came from a long line of vampires. I don't know. And they came together and realized that they had a past life together. See, like I've only seen that movie a handful of times. The fact that it came through, spirit really be here. Like they like hair. We're just dropping random movies. Because I wouldn't even say that's even a favorite movie of mine. But the fact that it's coming to mind, and it also ties into the energy I've been picking up on this whole time. Like y'all can't tell me spirit ain't real. They there. But that's literally a movie where a girl moves to a small town, falls in love with a guy, and they realize they have a past life together. And they have to like, break that past life. Like they look the exact same in the past life, or she is a ancestor, or no, she is a her ancestor used to be with him and now she's with him. It's that kind of vibe where you've met each other in the past life, you've known each other before. There's a curse placed on you. You're meant to break it. You know what I mean? Maybe you meet, or you're the kind of person who helps people break generational curses. You know, it's kind of also giving me the Beautiful keeps coming through as well, because Beautiful Creatures was the movie, and now Beauty and the Beast is coming through, where basically the nice woman, or I mean, I think she was nice. She came to the castle and asked to come to the party, but because she wasn't beautiful and gorgeous, he turned her away. But she actually was beautiful and gorgeous. He just wasn't able to see her true form because he was only looking for looks. But when she transformed someone who was beautiful to only to curse him and say, you're cursed until you find to love with your heart, or someone loves you and is able to see bruh, is able to see past the veneer you weren't able to see through with me. Because she came with like an old haggard lady with the apple, that's all she had to give. And he was like, no, you can't come to my party, get out. Then she cursed him, and just so happened to be someone who was very beautiful, like a fairy or something. And like, you know what I mean? And she cursed him to say, you're not going to be able to turn back into human until you find someone who loves you past this beastly exterior. So basically his insides match his outside. So maybe your insides don't match your outside, and people like maybe turn you away and say no. And like I said, you're not usually their type if you're someone who's not conventionally attractive or whatever. But there was something about you that drew them to you, and they never forgot you. Now, last card we have here is Knight of Swords, which makes sense because you keep them awake at night. That meeting with you, they can't stop thinking about it. So after people meet you, they can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop thinking about what you said, what you taught them, or how they felt when they were with you. And they're just like, why can I not get this person out of my mind? They're not my type. I don't want to be with them, but they do. They're just kind of like not ready to admit that to themselves. Or they're not ready to become the person they need to be that would be able to be with you. That kind of thing. So yeah, you awaken people and get them thinking about things in a different light. Like maybe that isn't my type. Maybe I am able to be attracted to people for more than just their looks. And that's the lesson you taught them. You know, if that makes sense. So I'm here like an activation. People like activate or they're activated when they're with you or around you, that kind of thing. And look, I just noticed he has a world in his hands. So you open up their eyes to a brand new world and how things can happen and how they perceive things. Like maybe I have been judging people too harsh or going for the fake person who was pretty but no personality. Maybe I need to go over for people who have more personality and a beautiful soul and not just look at how they look physically, you know? That could be the lesson you teach people. So you could either be the King of Swords helping people, mentoring them, or you attract Kings of Swords. And it's a King of Swords who was talking about you. So I have one more deck that I'm going to pull from before I end the reading. Your personality. We didn't even get much about the personality, child. We just got about the effect you left on this person, which is why, like I said, there's something about them not being able to fully recall how you were or what you did, but there's just something about you that you left the mark. I'm hearing that song by Ali X. Must have been a reason for this feeling, cause it rings a bell. You know, there must be a reason in the song. She's like, dun, 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 dun. Put in your arms, as if I know you well. Must have been a reason for this feeling, cause it rings a bell. So she's like, there must be a reason why I'm feeling this because it rings a bell. It seems familiar, deja vu coming through again. So yeah, all the songs and movies keep coming to say that this person or people feel that they've known you before in a past life, and it literally could be because you were coming through as a spirit guide or a mentor that finds them in every life when they're meant to change or transform. And there you go, ready to, I'm hearing a song, sorry. There you go, ready to teach them something or enlighten them on something or awaken them to something. I'm hearing that song by Zayn. Only you know me the way you know me. Only you forgive me when I'm sorry. Even when I messed it up, there you are. Sorry if my voice sounds crazy. I was karaoke this weekend. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a little scratch and like just yeah, okay. But yeah, there must have been a reason for this feeling because it rings a bell. People feel they've known you before, deja vu, that kind of thing. Have you met? And you may have, and you would know that or not. But there could be like you are meant to be in people's lives to like change them, transform them, awaken them. I keep saying the same thing, but it's just coming through. So that could be where the deja vu comes in. How they describe personality, yeah, stoic, aloof, logical, straightforward. You know what I mean? Friendly but not friendly, homey but not homey. You know what I mean? I'm hearing stern. You're giving off a lot of like Saturnian energy, Saturn, which is like Aquarius energy. It's also Uranus energy, which is the unexpected change card. So how they describe a personality, soothing with the Cancer card. Like come and I'll take care of you. There's no need to be scared, you know? Opposition. Yeah, there's something about how you present and how you actually are that's like just very off. I'm hearing off putting, but it's like opposites, you know? Or maybe you attract people who are the complete opposite of you. You have Pluto that came or that was coming through in the judgment card. So Pluto, Cancer, soothing, mothering, sweet, safe. You're safe with me. I just keep hearing, I don't know, maybe you can speak to people telepathically and like tell them it's safe, you're safe. There's no need for you to be scared without even having to say a word. Some of you could have that gift, honestly. But here we have feeling, you have sympathetic. I'm also hearing that people may not think of you as someone who is nice because of maybe how you dress. Like I said, you could be someone who like dresses like very dark or ominous, or you look ominous, but you're also someone who's very, really sweet, You're not someone who's mean. You don't want people to be scared of you. That's just how you dress. That's just how your personality is. But there's something deeper they can feel beneath the surface that tells them that you're a safe space for them. You have Aries, so there is something like very fierce about you as well with Aries. Very commander esque. Like do what I say, listen to me, I know the right thing, a little stubborn as well, hard headed. We have feeling, sympathetic, comforting, nostalgic. What was I saying? That they've known you before, that they've met you before. You have protective, intuitive, birthing, tender, nocturnal. So yeah, you are giving a vampire or a night owl, someone who's always they only see you at night. Or it could be maybe like a booty call, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, but they only see you at night. That thing. Because that is coming through. Whereas like the smoke and mirrors, or you see the person turn up. It's like you're magical. You turn up whenever they need you. Maybe it's a personality trait they would give you as well. But because this is a stranger, I would say this is like more so ominous. You know what I mean? I'm hearing risque, a little scary, but comforting. That's you in the freaking nutshell. You're scary but comforting. Nostalgic, protective. I read all that. Caring, moody. That did come to. I said that in the beginning. Receptive, lunar, sentimental, introverted. You could be very introverted as well. Defensive, family oriented. So defensive is coming through again in Aries as well. So you have that fierce Mars energy about you. We have active, you have self-starting, daring, fierce, assertive. And I do feel like with the whole fire starter and then the characteristics, it is giving me that you tell people the adventures you've been on, the things you've been through, and they're kind of like, what? How have you lived that life? Like your stories and experiences are crazy, you know? And it's because you're this Aries, you go out and look for trouble, or trouble just always happens to find you, you know? And you're exhilarating because of it. You're fiery because of it. Your stories and your life and what you've lived and how you've lived so far is very exciting. It's kind of like out of a storybook. Innocent, that is coming through with the Cancer. We have on a mission, bossy, driving, sparky, courageous, selfish, macho, impulsive, argumentative, and competitive. Opposition, this is what I was talking about. How you look may not be how you act, or how you present may not be like how you act. Okay. And then we have Pluto transformation coming through to confirm all the energy of people say they were forever changed after meeting you, whether it was one time thing or someone who was just a perpetual stranger. They see you every so often. You guys never met. You guys have never seen each other, but you just always just so happen to be in the same place at the same time. You live in the same area. You know what I mean? Down the block from each other. You go to the same bar, the same movie theater, the same grocery store, and that person is still a stranger. They've never met you, but they always see you. And based on what they've seen from afar, you are someone who's fierce, but you're also someone who's soft. You know, you are someone who is the like I said, you have that juxtaposition. You know, where you can be this way, but you could also be that as well. Both things can be true. And then we have Pluto, where just like there's something like very intense about you. We have renewal, inner resources, basic instinct. They could be very just instinctually attracted to you, or they think you have good instincts. We have motivation, personal power that's coming through again, the inspiration kind of thing. Evolution, composting. So maybe this person also, if they're a stranger, and like I said, they've seen you at the grocery store, the supermarket, or the movies, because you live in the same neighborhood, the same bar, that kind of thing. They have seen you go through a transformation just from what they've seen from afar. And if you were to come, and they're fascinated by you, honestly, this person, strangers are fascinated by you, which is why you come up in conversation after the fact, or recurring, like whenever they see you that day. I just saw that girl again, you know. So people could be talking about you as the girl that got away, or the person they have a crush on, they don't want to talk to, they're too scared to say anything to, you know. That's crazy. This is cute, honestly. I just feel so drawn to her. Like, why do I feel drawn to her? And it could be because they've known you in a past life, or you're meant to finally be introduced, but just not now. So it's always just passing moments, fleeting stares, and it just wasn't meant to be yet. But it's coming to something, it's building up to something, you know. We have evolution, composting, cycles, death, rebirth, subversion, suspicion, obsession, intensity, reckoning, taboos, clearing, and exchange. So yeah, that obsession, that intensity, they feel that whenever they're with you, strangers. And they're just like telling their friends, you would not believe the person I met on Saturday. Like, oh my gosh, she was so compelling. She was so hypnotic. She was so beautiful. He was so strong. He was so soft, like at home yet cold. You know, I felt at home with him, but he was also still a stranger. That kind of thing, you know, just to give a perspective for both, you know. Taboo. There could be something a little forbidden about this connection as well. Something that wouldn't be accepted, or there could be something about how you wouldn't be accepted. For example, like goth or alternative, or you know what I mean? People who kind of dwell in that area are not mainstream, and they are seen as like a taboo, that kind of thing where it's like, oh, like when people talk about, oh, emo girls, like, oh, just another emo girl, that kind of thing, but you're also not just another whatever category somebody would place you in, whether you're emo or like I said, coquette or cottage core, whatever your vibe is, you're not just that, you're more than that, and they can kind of tell, which is why they felt called to you or drawn to you in the first place. Okay. um but yeah, there's something here about you like operating on both extremes, which is what this opposition is saying. People relate to you very well. You're a very good person to interact with, confront. You are definitely someone who could be like very combative and confronting. um just fierce is the vibe that I'm getting, where people don't know not to double cross you. Okay. We have Tess objectifies. Maybe you are someone who has been objectified. Maybe there are people, like, I didn't want to say it, but it was coming through, how people kind of fetishize you based on whatever you may be, which is where that taboo comes through. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be with her, or someone, I'm not supposed to like someone like that, but it makes me want them even more. Oh, disgusting behavior. So strangers could fetishize you. And you call them out for that, and they've never been called out by from they've never been called out for that before, so you stood out to them. Okay. But with, like I said, the opposition, there's something that's like just vastly like different. You operate on two different, frequencies, two different wavelengths, that kind of thing. Maybe you can switch up your energy really quickly as well, which is like you could be an energy worker for real. And that could be what that transformation is. You switched up very fast. You went from someone who was mean and menacing to nice and sweet. But it's just like this, maybe you put out that energy so the people who are like, to keep away certain kind of people, the people who will walk up to you and talk to you are the people you want to walk up and talk to. The people who don't are the people who are put off by that vibe, that menacing, mean vibe, that snake vibe. Only a specific snake charmer can charm a snake. Not saying you're a snake, not saying the person is a snake is either. It's just like there's something like snakes are seen as mean, but they also do represent constantly changing and going through transformation as well. So that is you, that's your personality. I'm gonna end it there. I hope this video resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you watch this reading. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Starfish, then you are in the right place. Welcome. Today's reading is going to be about how would strangers, people that don't know you that well, how they describe your personality. We're going to see what comes through for you guys. For Starfish, immediately is giving star power. Star power. Sorry, I was hearing firepower from Mulan, where Mushu goes into the tower and asks the people who are in there, like, we need more firepower. You know what I mean, to help Mulan defeat the Huns. Or Shan Yu, I think his name was, and his little band of bandits, essentially. There's something here about, yeah, you being like a very leader, star, front and center, can't be missed kind of person. You're also like very funny. I'm hearing Patrick, which would make sense. He's a starfish. I heard Wombo, okay, from that episode of SpongeBob where they get a hold of, I think, Mermaid Man's belt, and he's like, oh, maybe Wombo would make them turn back big or whatever. Also, I'm hearing is mayonnaise and instruments, and I feel like SpongeBob had his moments. I meant both SpongeBob as well. I feel like they both, but mostly I meant to say Patrick. They have their moments of being smart and insightful. They also have their moments of just being, out of it and just dumb. Or I'm hearing stone, so maybe you are someone who is more like, funny, or when you let your hair down, or like when you drink or when you smoke or whatever. If you do those things, or take substances, you become like more ditzy, essentially. But with this star card energy here, there is something here about you that's very like striking apparent. Like, I'm hearing striking appearance. Starfish is also water, so it could also be something like very malleable about you. Like, you are very moving, chill, go with the flow kind of energy. You have spider, creative, unique, colorful. I'm hearing colorful language, colorful personality, vibrant, out there. Leo energy coming through immediately. with the star. Starfish is also given Aquarius energy, so there is something unique about your personality. You have a shark, but also a little scary. Menacing is what I'm hearing. Oh, Patrick keeps coming through. Look at him standing there menacingly. Um, I promise I don't watch SpongeBob too all the time. I promise, but it just comes through when it comes through. So you may be a SpongeBob fan, but yeah, the episode of SpongeBob where they're trying to find the bandit or someone the neighborhood is scared of, and SpongeBob and Patrick take on the job, and at one point SpongeBob is standing in the middle of the street, and Patrick takes him as the whatever the person is, the robber, the scary person. And and SpongeBob's like, where is he? Where is he? We're supposed to be like only a few feet away from each other. If you can see him, I should be able to see him. And it's like, look at him standing there, menacingly. You know what I mean? And it's just SpongeBob standing there. So maybe you just act a fool sometimes, because Patrick was like literally the comic relief. SpongeBob was the comic relief, but Patrick, like with the one-liners, oh, stop it, stop it. Yeah, maybe you're someone who has one liners. Maybe you're someone who's very funny. Maybe you're someone who's like a very loud voice. You're always like on, you're always out there. Cause I'm just like Patrick Shaw, he was just a mess, you know. Maybe you could be just a mess, you know what I mean? Or people are saying it in like an endearing way. They're not just like, oh my gosh, that person was such a mess. Like, no, they're a mess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll love them. They're a mess. The kind of thing people are saying strangers essentially. Creative. There is something here about maybe the way you tell jokes, the way you speak, the way you tell stories is what I'm hearing as well. Is very creative. Okay. I'm hearing it's your essence. You have a good essence about you. You're a star. I don't know why I'm getting accessories. So I'm getting the spider has a lot of legs. So maybe you're someone who's good at a lot of different things, you know? Or you're very, I'm hearing, well adept in many different things, you know? So you're someone who you cook, then you sing, then you're also an actor, then you also dance, and you also do art really well. You're just like very multi-talented. Is what's coming through as well with the spider. You know, you build worlds out of nothing, out of your mind, out of your imagination, you know? So yeah, you're a good storyteller, and people like love the stories you tell. Is what's coming through, but also accessories is coming through for some reason. I don't know. I can't tell you why, but there's something about accessories. Okay, so I'm gonna try to find the starfish to read about it. Here we go. Yeah, see, we have starfish. We have beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. That was kind of coming through, guys. Not too much on me. This is how strangers see you. That's the vibe that I was coming through as, where it's just like aloof, not even aloof, because aloof is like someone who doesn't realize what they're doing. You're just someone who's, I mean, I guess aloof, where you could come off as shallow or superficial, and you can't really tell, or people think of you that way because you're a star, you're beautiful, you know. And they're like, oh, because she's beautiful or because he's gorgeous, he like they just have to be superficial or shallow, you know. But they don't really know because they don't know you. They're a stranger, you know. Anyway, the starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty. You heard that, group two? Exquisite beauty. You're an exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. That star energy coming through. Being and look, we have when in balance, uplifting, artistic, and expressive. That's the spider. Yeah, so I'm not picking up the wrong energy. I don't think I ever do, but I second guess myself because I don't want to offend anyone. But whatever comes through, come through. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay. We have being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they might have forgotten their deeper callings. Wow. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? So this person could have seen you, whoever this stranger may be, whether it's someone you've talked to, someone who just saw you across the room. They could see you as someone who only attracts beautiful people, or you gravitate towards beautiful people. And that could be them taking you as someone who's superficial or shallow. It doesn't have to be true, but that's how they're kind of seeing you, your personality. But it's just you attract beautiful things because you're beautiful. Immediately when you're beautiful, you know, of course, beautiful things will be attracted because like attracts like. So people can see you as someone who only wears the best or only does this, or they only see you in full makeup, and like you rely too much on how you look. But that's a lie because I can feel your personality coming through here. You know, we have you're very artistic in the way you express yourself, and the way you tell stories. So maybe you're someone who's always in the center of the room telling a big funny story, and everyone's like entranced with what you're saying. And people are like, oh my gosh, that person is so shallow. They only want attention on them. And it's like, did you even get the chance to get to know me? Like you're just looking from afar. It's like, how are you hating from outside the club? You can't even get in. You won't even walk up and say anything to you, but you're talking all this mess talking about I'm shallow and superficial. Like, ugh, let me stop. I'm like, not too much on my group twos. Okay. You can't judge someone by the cover. You can't judge a book by its cover. If you don't want to go and talk to someone, you're only seeing what they're like from afar. You don't know them. But this is about strangers, so let me not get into it and get too offended for y'all. Um, I want to read about the spider as well. I do know. I think it is creative expression. The spider would be Earth. But I'm like, what you not gonna do is be talking about my group twos, okay? We don't do that. Where is the spider? The spider is a creator of prosperity through life's work and dharma. Interesting. So that dharma, I do think it is a part of your dharma for people to just be so attracted to you. It's a part of your dharma to be in the spotlight, to have eyes on you, to have a lot of people wanting to be around you. That's just a part of like your destiny in a way, you know? So like I said, it can't be helped. So the fact that people or the stranger, whoever these strangers are or stranger is looking at you saying you shallow and superficial. Maybe you are. I don't know. But I'm getting that there's more to you if they would just look beneath the surface. People see what they want to see, is what I just heard. Yes, exactly. People see what they want to see. So it makes them feel better to say, oh, they're superficial anyway, they're shallow anyway. You know what I mean? To kind of make themselves feel better by either not getting your attention or not having the courage to walk up to you and talk to you, either or. So the spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of Dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it. So people look at you and your crew and your energy and your friend group and they're mad they're not a part of it, you know? Like I said, they're not inside the club, so they're outside hating. Um, both okay, so the intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually, it is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process oriented rather than results oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance flows. So when in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. So yeah, people could see you as superficial, as shallow because you have money or because you're successful, and that's automatically what we're told to believe about artists. Like, oh, who they're showing off as is not who they actually are, which could be true or it wouldn't be true, but you would never know because you're a stranger. Okay, anyway, um, you know what I mean. Your life looks so colorful and vibrant, and just magical. And just like I can already tell they're at home unhappy and they're just fake, and that's what people say to make themselves feel better about not being a part of your life because it seems so glamorous. I'm hearing GLAMOROUS. I'm glamorous by what's her name? Fergie's coming through. So your life like seems very glamorous, and people are mad that they aren't a part of that. So strangers see you as someone who only relies on their looks to gain followers or gain traction when it really is your hard work. It is you putting all this time and energy. Because yeah, I don't know how long it takes for spiders to do their web. Like it's an intricate process. It's not something that happens overnight. So you have put time and energy into looking this good, into being this successful, into being this successful. And I'm hearing that song by Ariana Grande. It's something something to something beautiful and rich and successful. Ba, 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 ba. I'm so successful. That song is coming through. So it takes time to be successful. It's kind of like people who are seen as overnight success. And it's like I've been in the business for 10 years. I was not an overnight success. I put time into this. It's giving me specifically how people say Tyla, who make me sweat, that song, make me harder. They say she's an industry plant. It's kind of like she blew up overnight, which is like I've been putting in the work. I'm not an industry plant. Yes, I am this beautiful. Yes, I am this talented. Yes, I know how to move my waist in ways most people could only dream of. Yes, I am gorgeous. I have a good personality. I can sing, all of that. And people are saying, she's an industry plant. She didn't put in the hard work. She just woke up and they said, hey, you want to be famous the next day? And it's like, that's not how it is. But that's how strangers on the internet are trying to undermine her, not success, her hard work, essentially, and people do the same for you. Look at this beautiful web. First, you have to lay the foundation, which is the web. Then you have to go into each section and bring all the beautiful, vibrant colors. Like you have to do that. You did that. And people are like, oh my gosh, she didn't build that web herself. It's kind of like giving me the energy of like, it's funny because I was doing like a dance class the other day. We were dancing to Partition by Beyonce. It was a heels and chairs class, essentially. And basically the instructor was telling us the story behind Partition and why she wrote it. And basically Beyonce wrote it after having her first daughter, Blue Ivy. She was like, my body wasn't what I wanted it to be. I wanted to gain my confidence back. I ended up going to a burlesque show in France. They kind of, the way they were acting, I decided to like, make this song and kind of dedicate it to them because they kind of like helped me get the confidence back a little bit. And it's kind of like I don't think everyone knows Partition, but it's like where she's like, drive a roll up the partition fast, where she's in the back of the car doing things with her man, and like embodying that sexy energy. And I'm getting the vibe that it could have been after that burlesque show, whatever. So essentially, this is someone, and I remember how when Beyonce was pregnant the first time, people were like, "Oh my gosh, she's not even really pregnant. She's fake and she's wearing a fake stomach." And all these things people were saying that she was doing just to say she was pregnant when she really wasn't, which was just like really extra to me. I'm like, why would she lie about being pregnant? You know, Even if she did get pregnant and wanted to have her body the way it was before, she has the money to do all the extensive surgeries and try all the exotic ways to get your stomach back flat with no stretch marks and no um residual after effects of having a child, like some people do, that they have that saggy stomach that never goes away. Some people don't. She could be one of the people that doesn't. And people are like, oh, because her body went back to this way or she faked her whole pregnancy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all are be bugging. Y'all be bugging out here. But that's what it's giving me. People are like, oh, she didn't really have that baby. When whether she did or didn't, she why is that your business? Like, she had that child. She carried that baby. And whether she did or not, that's just still her child. Like, whether it was you that went through the labor, you have emotional skin in the game, essentially, whether she carried the baby or not. And I'm just like, at this point it doesn't even matter. But people are literally looking at you and your success and how you snap back after having a baby, or how you have all this money and all these friends and all this notoriety, and people love you and are praising you, and they're just like, oh, they didn't even work hard. They're an industry plant. They didn't carry that baby. That kind of thing. Just jealous people. It's jealousy. It is. But look at how we have like a bland backdrop, and then we have you in full and living color, and then we also have all these colors here. So you're very someone who is colorful. I'm hearing you could use colorful language as well. So let's get more into it. How would a stranger or people describe my group two's personality, please? How do they describe their personality? Anything else? Anything else? Group one's reading was unnaturally long. I'm trying not to have that be the case for your reading. So I'm not going to rush through it, but I'm not trying to have it be like 50 something minutes long. That's just blasphemy. Here we have Seven of Wands. I'm hearing you have good comebacks. You have good comebacks. Like if someone makes a joke at you, you're able to throw it back at them, You're not someone who gets offended. And I did like there is something here like very jokey and funny about you, where people just like attracted to you, like charismatic. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, persevering. We have strong. We have always defending yourself. We have persevering. You could also defend others. Here we have the Four of Pentacles. So protective. There's also something very protective about you. Yeah, you're fierce like a lion. People don't want to double cross you. Like, so whenever they talk about you, they talk about you behind your back. We have the Hangman here. There is something hard to access about your energy. with the Hangman and the Four of Pentacles, you have a very close knit friend group, and people see you vibrant and happy with your friend group. And they're looking like, I wonder what it'd be like to be her friend or his friend, kind of thing. So I wouldn't say you're mean, but you're standoffish for sure. You don't let your guard down very easily. You have trust issues. You don't let anybody in, which is why they kind of try to make you a bad guy to sue themselves for you not wanting to be their friend, kind of thing. But it really is just a preference for you to have like a smaller knit group, to keep your cards close to your chest, to keep your money. Like it would make sense if you're someone who does have notoriety or spotlight on you, whether you are actually famous or whatever. Who knows? You have money, you have notoriety, you're very pretty, and you know people use you for those. They use you for what they can get from you, for your looks. They want to be friends with someone that hot and successful, and they're not really seeing you for you. So you've learned over the years it's best to keep your friends close, okay? And not even your enemies closer. Your enemies not even in the same room as you. Bye. And even if they are there, you're not here, you know? So there's something here about you keeping a hard line between like your personal life and your professional life is what I'm getting as well. So that's how people see you. There's a hard line. I'm not talking about my boyfriends or girlfriends in a work setting. We're at work. We talk about work. If you are my friend, only my friends know about my personal life, what I do and who I do it with. If we're just an acquaintances, we'll have a conversation about whatever. But when it comes to like my personal life and my privacy, you hold on to that like very tightly with this four of pentacles. Also, you could be someone who's very frugal as well. That's your personality. You don't want to spend a lot, even if you have it. Whether you have it or not, whether you're someone who's rich or not, you like to hold on to your money, okay? Like if you don't gotta spend it, why am I spending it? You know, it's giving me in a way. Like well, I'm like, if I don't gotta take an Uber, I'm not taking an Uber. I'm taking a bus when the bus coming. You know what I mean? Like save that money. Like, but if there are times as well, if I want to take an Uber, I will. But it's like you try to save money where you can. Okay. Personality, hangman. Yeah, hard to reach. You're always in like you're very contemplative, is what I'm hearing for you guys. You're very contemplative. People see you when you're kind of like always lost in your thoughts, is the vibe that I'm getting here. Like you get lost or you stop mid conversation, that kind of thing is what was coming from you guys. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, that's why was coming through from you guys, where it's just like you're always lost in thought, or you're always thinking about something, or like I said, you're talking about something and you kind of get distracted by something else, and you lose your train of thought. Is what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting from you guys. So people see you as someone who keeps themselves closed off from everyone else. You have walls up, okay, with the Nine of Wands, but you're also someone who is, I'm hearing, doesn't give up easily. You're very persevering. We have the Lovers. Interesting. This combination of cards is very, it's something. We have the freaking Empress. Wow. Yeah. So if the freaking starfish wasn't enough to show how beautiful and alluring you are, we have the Empress coming out. So that's definitely you. Your looks kind of intimidate people. And I do feel like because you are someone, I'm hearing you may not know how beautiful you are. You're someone who does, and you're used to being used or exploited for your looks and what it can get you. And, you keep those boundaries up. You have very strong boundaries. I shouldn't say walls, boundaries. You're friendly because you tell jokes, you crack jokes, you're funny, you have a room full of people, the attention is on you. But you also have firm boundaries. If people are asking you too many questions, you're gonna be like, I'd rather keep it to myself, or we're working right now. We can't. I don't talk about my private life at work. You know, that kind of thing. Very frugal. You like to save your money. Like nothing. It doesn't matter what happens. You are always on top of things. Like that's literally what this Nine of Wands is giving me. The imagery. Hold on, I'm trying to fix these cards. The imagery is giving me someone who is always in the ring of fire. Is what I'm hearing. So that song could be important by Johnny Cash. I'm the ring of fire, always in the ring of fire, but you always come out on top. Look at her, how she's using all her little tools to kind of be in the line of fire is what I'm getting. So people always have their sights set on you is what I'm getting. Whenever you walk into a room, eyes are on you. Whenever you're sitting there minding your business, eyes are on you. So you're always in the ring of fire and you've learned to kind of deal with all eyes on you. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this card. All the people coming your way, all the advances thrown your way because she's standing on the 8 of Wands and has the ninth wand in her hand. So the 8 of Wands is always like being it's like a torrential downpour. The things are always coming your way. People always want to talk to you. People always want to get to know you. People are always looking at you. They want something from you, and you've learned to kind of go with that, go with the flow, like I said, in that kind of way where it doesn't get you upset anymore. You know how to divert attention, you know how to hold your boundaries firm, that kind of thing. So it's like someone learning how to deal with success and kicking booty while doing it. Like it's like, how does she do that? How did she stay humble, beautiful, calm and cool and collected under the pressure? And that's you with the perseverance. You don't. It's like people are always talking to you, walking up to you, and you just stay, serene. You don't come out of character. So you may be someone who does have a specific character you put on when you're outside. Here we have the Three of Wands. So your personality. You're either giving someone who's a homebody and doesn't do much traveling, or you believe in vacationing and then just, okay, so how can I describe it? You know how some people go on vacations and when they're on the vacations, it's like you're working, you're going here and scuba diving and running here and going on a hike and going on this. You're just like, no, when I'm resting, I'm resting. You know what I mean? If I'm on a vacation, I don't want to be at home, but I'm gonna be at the bar. I'm gonna be in the pool the whole day. I'm gonna be sleeping in the hotel bed. Yes, I paid for a flight. Yes, I paid for a room just to sleep, but that's my prerogative. You know what I mean? Or maybe you're in the staycations kind of vibe. But there's something here about you like always traveling or going somewhere, always on the move as well. So the Three of Wands could also mean you're always embarking on new ventures. You always have a new project, a new hobby, a new story, like I said, to tell. Lovers and Empress. I love that these like stayed out. Put those up there. The Lovers and the Empress is literally you being like a beacon of sensuality or sensuality. Sensuality or sexuality. Thank you. It's giving Marilyn Monroe a little bit. How everybody wanted to be with her, everybody wanted to marry her. She was literally like a sex symbol, but not many people knew her and what she was dealing with. Like the object of a lot of people's desires is what I'm hearing. So you have like a lot of suitors, and there's like this 7 of Wands, like you're batting them off with a stick. Like all these wands, which the Ace of Wands does represent the a follicular object that men do possess between their legs. Okay, and like you're batting off all those wands that are coming your way, trying to get something from you. You're also fantastic under pressure, is what I'm hearing. I don't know how a stranger would know these things, but they do. It's coming through. Can you stop? What is your problem? Getting on my last nerve. Okay. Yeah, Empress, you're very Venusian. You look good, and it came through already. And yeah, I love. Oh my gosh, I love that it came out. Okay, so the Empress is literally the embodiment of all things beautiful, gorgeous, Venusian, beauty, love, romance. But then she's also like a paragon of creativity. Like literally, she's a paramount example of beauty, creation, abundance, you know what I mean? Fertility, that kind of thing. So people like see you as like I said, the object of the desires. Yeah, that's definitely coming through here. So here we have the exquisite beauty coming through the starfish. So we have the spider here with the, creative ingenuity. Then we have literally the Empress, which is the embodiment of those two things. She gets what she wants. She goes where she wants. She can get whatever she wants, which is why you are kind of very much selective with who you allow into your life, because you could have been on the opposite end of people using you a lot. So you're just like, nah, I gotta put up these boundaries. Like I'm not gonna be mean, disrespectful, but it's like you can only get so close to me. And I'm hearing that song by Sam Smith. I'm never gonna get that close to you, or you're never gonna get that close to me, even though you mean the most to me. 'Cause every time, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. 'Cause every time you hurt me, the least that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the least I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbyes. So people could think you're too good at goodbyes. That's basically a song Sam wrote about, or he performed about, your heart being broken so many times. You don't let anyone after that get too close to you. Seven of Wands, because you know it's going to lead to you getting used, getting abused, taken advantage of kind of vibe, and you're sick of it. So you'll like tell stories, you'll laugh with people, maybe you'll have flings with them, maybe you'll talk to them, that kind of thing, but you don't let them get too close, or not everyone can get that close. It's like I said, there is that energy about you being like desirable and everybody wanting you, but you not maybe wanting everyone, essentially. Which is that Four of Pentacles. You hold your cards very close to your chest. You don't allow people to get too close to you, you know? You don't tell people how much you make. You don't tell people where you live, that kind of thing. You're holding your boundaries very firm. But they would just say you're gorgeous, like probably one of the most beautiful people they've ever met, energetically and physically, you know? They know there's an air or a part of you they haven't seen. Strangers, they know you haven't shown them who you fully are. It's like you put on a front, essentially, and not like a bad front, but like there's a piece of you willingly show people, and there's a piece of you that's just for you and the people closest to you. That's a better way to say it. Okay. So now we're going to get some more cards about how they would describe your personality. Strangers, a smirk. You have a smirk, cocky, sure of yourself. I didn't even go over the lovers. Strangers view you as someone they would love to, be booed up with, or a lot of people may see you as like their perfect partner, you know, with the Empress and the Lovers card coming through. You're like, oh my gosh, you're the girl I've been searching for my whole life, whether it's looks wise, personality wise, it's one of those things. Because a stranger, all they know about you is what you show them, you know? So maybe your rising sign could be important here, or your reputation, your midheaven could be important here. Maybe you have a midheaven as like a heartbreaker, or you have a midheaven as someone who's very respected, or you have a very magnetic Leo midheaven, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm hearing Capricorn midheavens. You have uh an energy of being like aloof. And I do feel like there's something here about the thrill of the chase. Something here about that. So the more aloof and standoffish you are, the more people want to get to know you even better. Interesting. But people think they meet you for a reason. There's also something that's coming through here. So, oh, jeez, wow, that was fast. We have Uranus revolution, semi-sextile allowing. Y'all gonna fix y'all stuff. Then we have Leo, which I've been saying. Can I get one more card, please? How do strangers see, or how they describe my group two's personality? Group two. And sextile. So we have some sextile and sextile coming through. And it's funny how it's like you give off like, like sexy energy. All those up. So we'll start off with semi-sextile since I felt called to grab that one, allowing. So like I said, you allow people to only see a specific part of you. We have stars coming through again. So I'm hearing people have stars in their eyes when they meet you. They're delighted. They leave your presence delighted, you know? To have met you, talked to you, joked around with you, all that kind of stuff. So we have encourages, sees the potential, and you could also be someone who does it. You encourage people to be better people because you're just a really good person. Like that's just it. But you don't allow everyone to get close enough. to see just how amazing you are. So just the little glimpses they've seen, they're like, wow, this person's a star, you know? They're going places. I love talking to them, being around them, being in their energy. But I know there's something they're holding back essentially. So we have encourages, sees the potential in, clarifies, gives hopes to, compensates, intuits, tempers, responds, cycles, grows, realizes, and rewards. So people do feel like you reward them. Maybe the more loyal people show you they are to you, the more you open up to them, and they feel just like delighted. Like I said, I just keep that word keeps coming through. Delighted to have like earned your trust. The people in your life already, they must hold you to a higher esteem or high regard. If strangers see you as someone to hold such a high regard and high esteem as well, and they don't really know you that well, you know, or they only know what they've heard by word of mouth. And I'm pretty sure your friends don't go talking about you and telling your personal business to people who don't know you. You know what I mean? Your reign is revolution, like a lightning strike. Essentially, they meet you and they're just like, you know, struck. Starstruck. Okay, look at y'all. Starstrucking people out here. We have breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality. Yeah, so like the uniqueness is coming through Aquarius energy. Insight, you give them insight. With this whole encourages and the semi-sextile allowing, I do feel like you are an all-around really good person. You build people up. Okay, with the Empress coming through, she literally is the giver of life, the grower of things. Whatever is around her is gonna blossom and bloom, which is why you have to be very selective about who you have around you, because the people around you, and it did, oh my freaking gosh, it said that in the spider card, where you give prosperity to yourself and in, you know, in relation, those around you, people who are around you, they get that boost as well. They get that boost in money, morale, you know what I mean? Success. Wow. And yeah, the Empress, she literally gives life to all the things that are around her. Wherever she is, things are gonna be green, luscious, fertile, abundant, beautiful, gorgeous. You know, there's flowers that's gonna be around her, you know. So that's literally you. And whenever you're around people, they get that little glimpse of you encouraging them, telling them, you could do that, you could do this. Like I did it, you can do it too. Like, you know, encouraging, filling them up with life, you know, which is very much sun energy. So I had to stretch. Yeah, but that's it. People feel that you kind of water them a little bit. It's your personality to these strangers. Just like, oh, this person, like you should just see her. The whole room lightens up and brightens up whenever she comes in, because she just like carries that life within her, you know, the confidence within her, you know what I mean? Or he just like, he walks into a room and all the women are just like fawning over him. He's like so respectful. He doesn't objectify women, that kind of thing, you know? Okay, we have some good people in group too. We have breakthroughs, we have brainstorming, we have originality, we have insight, we have awakening, technology. If you felt called to another group, you can go choose one. I just felt called to tell you that. I heard tell them that. So if you felt called to another group, choose another group. Um, we have insight, awakening, technology, innovation. You could be good with technology. I didn't want to say innovation for you guys, or maybe that was group one. I'm not sure. We have humanitarianism, so you give back. You literally give back. You're just really over all nice person, you know, a do-gooder is what I just heard. People can see you do good deeds, and like I said, just hold you in high esteem, high regard. We have reform, surprise, freedom, experimentation, the unexpected, rupture, edge, diversity, lightning. Maybe you're someone who gets along with people from all races and backgrounds. Okay, you're someone who's very diverse, or maybe you yourself are what's the proper word? You yourself are the result of the mixing of a bunch of different cultures and races and ethnicities, that you just seem like you get along with everyone, you know? Because you know what it's like to be different and you don't want anyone else to feel different. Now, if you're not a mix of a bunch of different cultures, you still know what it's like to feel different. So you want to make everyone else feel comfortable. You know what it's like to be the outcast, to not feel safe, to not feel seen, and you don't want anyone else to feel that way, you know? Here we have sextile. People do think it's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity to meet you. And the artistry keeps coming through, all the different colors. You're all the colors of the rainbow, you know? And I feel like each color represents a different, of course, chakra is what came through, but also a different emotion, you know? So people could see you go through a bunch of different emotions at once, strangers, you know? We have collaborates, assists, explains, provides opportunities, synergizes. So you sync with people's energies really well. Creates possibilities for you, open doors, promises, you bring insight to coming through again. We have communicates, welcomes, and develops. You're a very good communicator. I'm hearing you ask all the right questions. And we have a snowflake, and each individual snowflake is individual. And each snowflake is individual. No snowflake looks the exact same. So, like I said, you're very unique and different. or the work you do is very unique and different. So people have seen many different singers, but the way you sing is different. People watch many different readers, but the way you read is different. People have seen a bunch of different arts, but the way you paint and the way you put your emotion on the canvas is different. People have read a lot of different books, but the way you write is different. People have made friends with a lot of different people, but the way your friend, the way you are friends with them is different. Is this essentially what I'm trying to say? That kind of vibe. People have been around a lot of different people, but the way you come out is like, I've never been in this kind of energy before. That's just so full of life. Lord, not that movie coming through. It hasn't come through in a minute, so I'm glad, but it's coming through again. Where you are so full of music and life, and I have the perfect name for you, Vivo. So life, to live, alive. That's you. You're different, and you bring life to any situation or any person. So it's like you're upper, essentially. Where other people may be downers or they're mysterious and people can get a read on them. You still are that, but more than anything, you represent. You provide a pay. Bro, I can't talk to this. It's annoying me. You provide a space for people to feel like, oh my gosh, I feel alive when this person is talking to me. You energize me, you encourage me, you bring optimism to my life. So if someone comes to you sad, they leave happy. It doesn't matter. Okay, so the last card we have is Leo the Lover, which makes and we have the lovers coming out. Stop it. You just lead with love. You live your life and you're full of love. Like the song says, you're so full of music and life. You guys are so full of love and life and light as well. Love, life, and light, and people just adore you. That's what I'm hearing. I'll walk through fire for you. Just let me adore you. Like it's the only thing I'll ever do. Like worship. People want to worship you as well, and that's the Empress card energy coming through. So it would make sense. I'm not surprised. I'm trying to find a space here for this card. And it's like, look, a breath of fresh air is what I'm hearing for you as well. Because we have the windows open here. The windows are open. The lights are the blinds or the curtains are billowy, and you're letting the sunshine in. So whenever you come through, you're a cool breeze on a hot day. You're the relief of the air conditioner when people are coming out from a hot, stifling summer. You know what I mean? Just like whimsy, fresh. I'm hearing doe-eyed and bushy-tailed or fresh-faced and bushy-tailed, whatever. You could be someone who always looks dewy. You don't wear makeup. Your skin is always shining and glowing, that kind of thing. Now your booty is coming through a little bit more. Like fresh-faced kind of thing. With the lover. Let's go over even more. So I'm trying not to make it touch the flower, but I still want you to see it. Like you have your own individual kind of style as well as what's coming through. I can go a little more. Like it's the only thing I'll ever do. So we have expressive, creative, coming through again, loving, playful, warm, overt, self confident, flirtatious, glowing, bedazzling, extroverted, vital, guileless, egotistical. See, it keeps coming through a little bit. Juicy, proud, trusting, and excessive. So you dress well. You always have like a nice you always have like I'm hearing a piece. What is it called? It's not a fashion statement. It's a star piece. You know what I mean? Where something you wear is always the star of the show. So you're wearing a big fluffy fur jacket, and that's the star of the show. You're wearing a bold red lip, that's the star of the show. You're wearing a crown, that's the star of the show. You're wearing some kind of pattern or print or sparkly shoes, it's the star of the show. A sparkly bag or a bag or accessories is a star of the show. And I said stuff for some reason, accessories were coming through for you guys. So like a statement piece a statement piece. When you wear, there's something you wear that calls attention to it, because they've never seen it before. It's the creative expression of yourself. And I've been saying too much. You're also a flower, which is delicate. So I'm hearing Delicate by Taylor Swift. But for you guys, absolutely, you're someone who inspires people to be better because you're just so warm and so happy. You inspire people to be happy. People just feel happy around you. Like I said, you bring light, and love. You bring light, life, and love. Sure. Say that fast 5 times. And look, roar, lionistic fears. Did I say that about your group or another group? I'm not sure. Like I said, if you felt caught another group, go watch it, please. Um, but like there is something like a tint of blush on your cheeks, or the way your skin always looks like flush or naturally um blushing or dewy or something like that is what's coming through. It's giving like childlike because Leo's like your inner child. It gives me that vibe of, you know, you're fun, playful, warm. Maybe you like fight for people, you stand up for other people. If someone is being bullied or something like that, you stand up for them. But I'm getting like white flowers here, but most of them like are tinted pink. So it's kind of like a little bit like a innocence to you, but then it's also something. It's not fiery red, which would be like, you know, femme fatale. It's like sweet, you know. You could There's gonna be an innocence about you. You look innocent. You look cute. You look, you know what I mean? Not childlike, but there's like youthfulness. You know, that is what's coming through for you guys, where it's like you're just like a flower painted a dusty rose, not a dark, you know, deep red. No, it's like a little blush, a little something something, but you don't really know the half of it. You could tell there's sensuality there. You could tell there's something more that meets the eye there, but not from like first look. Because it's not deep red, it's like more of a blush pink, which is like a puppy love is what I'm kind of getting. People could be in puppy love with you, but they don't really know you, you know? But I'm gonna stop there. People do want to whisk you off your feet as well. Stranger coming through. Strangers may want to, like, you know, dip you in and kiss you and wine and dine you, which is why there's that is also why you could be a little more reserved because you never know what they want from you when people buy you things, or you never know if people just want to be your friend for the perks that come with being your friend. You know, that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm gonna stop there. I hope the stream resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. Um, I'm also hearing people would love to be a fly on the wall in your apartment or to know how you are when no one else is around, you know? Because I'm hearing they can't be that perfect. They want to see you without makeup on if you're someone who wears makeup. They want to see you dressed down. They want to see you in your natural, normal environment because they think you're too good to be true a little bit, you know? So maybe somebody has a person coming through for them, or this is just people in general. They want to see you dressed down, normal, regular. Okay. Now I'm done. I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you watch this reading. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Yeah, I'm gonna call you group two. Oh boy. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Phoenix, then you are in the right place. Today we're going to be getting into how do strangers, how do people you don't know, whatever, view your personality, okay? So what they would say about you, how they would describe you to other people is also what we're going to be getting into a little bit in this reading. So if that's, you know, up your alley, stick around. So immediately with the Phoenix, people can tell that you are someone who's been through a lot, but you didn't let it keep you down, you know? You just kind of wear that experience on your shoulders. So you come through as someone who has seen it all, been through it all. Your eyes could be a little something about your eyes, like tell your story. And they're tired and worn down, but you're still fighting. Or the way you walk around sometimes, like with the weight of the world on your shoulders. And people can just tell that you've been through things, you know? How every person is naturally intuitive. It just depends if you're going to listen to your intuition or not. Is basically how I view things. So we always get a first impression of people, and immediately you give off the vibe of someone who is worldly, someone who's been through things, someone who's gone through immense transformations and always made it out on the other side. You know, you've crossed busy traffic streets, you've had near death experiences, you've lost a lot, you've mourned a lot, you've loved a lot. That kind of thing is all coming through for you guys. So that's how, you know, strangers see you right off the bat. Right off the bat. Immediately right off the bat, I love how we have the spirit symbol. So in this deck with the animal spirit oracle cards, we have air, we have earth, we have water, we have fire, and then we have a spirit element. You guys are representing a spirit element, okay? So there's something that people just know your spirit has been here before. It's been through some things. Um, it's a little worn down, you know what I mean? It's been challenged, ups and downs, that kind of thing. Just immediately is what's coming through. You've gone through many rebirths. So it's kind of like you're the final version of yourself. There's no more growing. There's no more you having to become something. You are who you are at this point in your life. You've gone through all the transformations. You've done the soul searching. You could have like your perfect job, your dream job right now. You've done the job search. You've done all that other stuff. what people have done now, you're just like very settled in your life. This could be like my older pile, where like you finally reached your final transformation, you know, your final form kind of thing, final destination, where there's no more growing, not many more lessons you need to learn because you've like been through it all already. Okay, it's like very mature energy. Also like very strong. I'm hearing they can tell your life has come full circle in some kind of way. Like I said, you've reached most of your goals. You've been married, that's a milestone. You've had kids, that's a milestone. You've reached your 40th, 50th, 30th birthday where now you become an official adult. You've gone through at least one Saturn return, is a vibe I just heard to say. So there's something here about you being like mature and reaching, like, you know, the person who you know you are. Of course, we're always changing, but there's something here about your fundamental self, your core self, your inner self knowing who they are now. You know what you want to do, whether it's always having fun, moving around, having that one job. You know your purpose in life is what I'm getting. Because you've had that rebirth. You just come through with someone who's very spiritual and you transform everyone around you. Is essentially what I'm getting the vibe of. So if there's strangers who are loosely in your life, the stranger doesn't have to be someone you met once and never saw again. A stranger could be someone you see at the grocery store. A stranger could be someone that sees you from at the bar across the room every Thursday. A stranger could be someone who works in the same place as you, but they don't know you personally. Like a stranger's all of those things. So it's someone who has been through it and has seen people come into your life and leave better for it. You know, is the vibe that I'm getting from you guys with the Phoenix. So people are in your life, they know. It's kind of like you're the friend that when people meet you, they meet their soulmate, you know, right after they've met you and they go on to get married, whether you guys stay friends or not. So I think there was a movie based around that where he was the guy or she was the girl that guys are with right before they find their wife. I think that was a movie. I'm pretty sure it is. I just don't remember the movie it is or it was. I've either heard about it in passing or seen the movie and forgot the name. Either way, you're the person that people meet right before their life changes for the better or forever. I want to say as well. Before their life changes for the better or forever, you know? So I'm hearing people tell you're no nonsense, you don't play around, you're not here to joke, and you're here for a mission, you know? So it's kind of like you're dedicated to your job or something like that. You don't let yourself have fun, or you're very serious, goal oriented, that kind of thing. So they know if they would want to be in your life, they would have to change for the better. So that also vibe that I'm getting with the Phoenix energy. Because the Phoenix represents, you know, killing your old self and or your old self dying and you becoming someone else, you know. So they know in order to have to be around you or be your friend, be your partner, they have to become someone new because you don't play around. You're grown now. You know, you're someone who's also spiritual, so you're very selective about who's in your life as well. You know, you have a little bit of group too. You don't let just anybody in your life. So you have standards essentially, and if this person doesn't meet those standards, they cannot be in your life. And people can tell they would have to change, go through a big, huge transformation, become someone new, essentially, to be deserving of being in your presence or something like that, or being in your life, or for you to accept them. Essentially, is the vibe that I'm getting from you guys mostly. You have a fox. Why? We have a raccoon. We have a swan, and we have a whale, and we have a camel. You know what? I'm gonna put all these back and see if any of them want to come back again. My group threes, please. How would a stranger describe them to other people, or how would a stranger describe their personality? Period. You have a bat, like a bat out of hell. You're a hellraiser. Are you a hellraiser? Like you raise hell wherever you go in a good way, in a bad way. It doesn't matter. Because Hellraiser is always seen as someone who's like the life of the party. Someone who's always finding themselves in trouble. You know, who's always learning hard lessons. So you could be someone who they've seen like go through something and meet bad people and have to claw your way out of hell essentially. And it made I don't know why I kept shuffling. Maybe yeah, we needed one more card because every other group only got two cards. But I do think you guys here have more life experience than most of the other groups. I would say, or you've been through a lot of things. You can be young and have a lot of life experience. It doesn't really matter the age. But it's like a worn and torn or a wear and tear or like a wisdom or pain in your eyes that you carry around with you that tells people you've lived some life. It could be scars you have that tells people you've lived some life. Burns, scars, marks, something. I'm hearing open heart surgery, so somebody here could have had open heart surgery And that usually happens like when you're younger, or even if it happened when you were old. It's a life changing experience. You're never going to be the same again, because now you don't have your own heart in you. You have someone else's heart in you, so it would make sense why you become a different person, or like step into a new life, or like go through an extreme change. A bat, someone who's only out at night, someone who can see through the darkness. So yeah, you are definitely a no BS kind of person. You don't BS people. If people come to you on that BS, you send them packing. You can see right through people. It's the vibe that strangers can see. So you're just like looking at them, and you could just tell that this person is no good. They don't have the best intentions, and you would send them about their way. You could read people really quickly, and it's because you've been around a lot of people, and you could tell a lot of people about how you can tell a lot about people about how they're from. You can tell a lot about people from how they approach you. If they come to you in a certain kind of way, if they come to you in one way, if you've experienced them, if you've experienced one, you've experienced all. Okay, so just based on how people come at you, you could be able to tell if they're there for ridiculous reasons, nefarious reasons, or good reasons. You can just automatically tell, and that's based on someone who's had life experience. Like I said, you come through with someone who's had a lot of life experience. You have a lot of discernment, a good judgment as well. The bat, yeah, you can see through because bats have that night vision. They can see in the dark. So if people come to you and try to keep you in the dark about things, you're not in the dark, because you are someone who is connected to spirit itself, themselves, herself, himself. Like you're not just someone who's out there walking around blind, walking around ditzy. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You're not that kind of person. People can tell right off the bat. Stop it. People can tell right off the bat, literally. You have a buffalo here, so you're stubborn. I'm hearing rapture, rupture. Like people like enraptured whenever it comes to that. Look at how we have like a. This is giving me a scene from the end of the world where things are happening like weirdly. Like when let me stop. I'm getting. I don't know about this reading. I'm talking more jibber jabber than I usually am. You know when you meet someone you know they're gonna change your life. That's you, Phoenix. You see right through them. You know their story before they tell it to you. You have that knowing, that inner knowing, clear sentient is what I'm hearing. But it's kind of like you come to like a storm. People are like, "What? How did you know that?" Or how could you tell that I'm this kind of person? Or you like just based on how they're acting. Like you have a sister, right? Or you're the youngest. Essentially, we'll go with that example. You're the youngest sibling, right? And I'm like, yeah. How did you know? Just the way you act. It's the way that you act. It's the way that you act. Like, I can tell youngest siblings from middle siblings from older siblings. You can just tell. Like you have a brother, right? Like, I could just tell. You only have sisters, right? I could just tell. You lost your mom, right? I could just tell. You grew up without a father. I could just tell. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You've cheated on someone before, right? How did you know? I can just tell. This is You're someone who's reading people to filth, and I don't think it's in a good way. They feel like uncomfortable when they're around you, but it's because they're supposed to go through some kind of change as well. So I'm hearing you don't play as well. So we have the moon, we have a full moon. So there is something here about you maybe having very like I don't know, you're always surrounded by like intense emotions. Maybe people feel what you feel. So if you're going through something and you're feeling like very overwhelmed, just by people being around you, they're gonna feel overwhelmed too. Like a heavy energy. If you're going through something, people can tell it because their energy is very heavy. Like that's the kind of vibe that you're giving off. You're giving me right now. But yeah, just keep hearing rapture, and I'm hearing that took a turn. I didn't expect that to happen. Something along those lines. But we have bat out of hell, bat out of hell. So yeah, you're just giving that you've been through some things, honestly. You've come back from it. And because of that, you're not dealing with nonsense. You're not dealing with putting up people's BS. You're not doing any of that. You know what I mean? I'm hearing I'm too grown. So if you're not looking for anything serious, don't at me. Like, don't talk to me. Leave me alone. You know, I'm looking for a commitment now. I've been through enough willy nilly relationships. I've been through enough flings. I'm not looking for that anymore. So if you're all about that BS, I can immediately tell because I have dealt with enough of people like you to know you're not looking for anything serious. Walk away. Leave me alone. If you want to change and grow together, then cool. But if you want to stay this person you are right now, I'm not into it. I'm sorry. Bye. It's literally the vibe that is coming through. No nonsense. And that could literally apply to anything. Like, I've experienced people like you. No, I'm good. Bye. You know, I've done the hard drugs. I've done all that. I've been through this. I've gotten drunk. I've done that. Had the flings. Like that's not me anymore. I can already tell that's what you're looking for. I'm not looking for a good time. I'm looking for a long time. You know, you can just immediately tell because you've been through the experience like countless times before. You know, you kind of like come like very stormy. Where like you have like a what do they call in the commercial? The constant rain cloud over your head, maybe a very somber energy. And people are like, yeah, I'm not mature enough to deal with that. I'm not, serious enough to deal with that kind of thing. And they just kind of give you like maybe a wide berth, you know? But yeah, I'm hearing Stormy Weather by Etta James. And I'm also hearing I'm hearing a stormy, I'm seeing and hearing stormy expression. So you're someone who has like a very somber, like I said, stormy energy. Maybe some of you name could be Stormy. I don't know. Or maybe you guys like are like Storm from X-Men, where like you change the environment around you. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. You change the environment around you, and it's funny how for every other group I was reading their animals, and I did it for you guys. So we have spirit. Let's see what comes through. The Phoenix is the first. We have freedom from suffering, a past karma, reincarnation. Yep. That's what I'm hearing. A lot of your past comes with you. You bring it along with you. It's like a um baggage. I want to say dirty laundry as well. So we have the Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication, tapas. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. So what I'm getting is that strangers have seen you like maybe change overnight. You used to be someone who was always angry because your life didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Instead of letting that affect you, let it change you. You grew, you transformed into somebody else. Now you could be someone who's nicer, but you like it's like rough around the edges. But instead of it making you mean or angry, it's making you someone who seems worldly. You've gone through things like I said before already, but they've seen you gone from someone who wasn't able to control it or let it control them to now being fully in control of that energy. Like, I'm not gonna let my past hold me back. I've been through things, yes, but I'm not gonna let it stop me from finding love, finding partnership, finding friendship. You know what I mean? Finding this job that I want kind of vibe. It's like giving me scarcity mentality. You grew up in a house where you never had money and you continue taking that belief with you. I'm never gonna have enough. I'm never gonna have enough. And it's kind of like you're one day you just wake up and say, I'm sick of always feeling like I never have enough. Now I don't care whether I have enough or not. I'm gonna tell myself I have enough. And now people saw that change in you, that shift in you. So you still have that experience, that baggage, that weight to you, but you're not letting it hold you back. Like it's there, but you're carrying it beautifully. You let your lessons transform you instead of hold you back. Is essentially what I'm trying to say. Okay. Anything else about the phoenix? The phoenix is the first chakra, so maybe you are someone who became more grounded. The ancient yogis believe that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. This earthen center is also called the muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the phoenix begins here, as it is the entanglement of karma as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned. So you look like someone who's healed. Yeah. You are not hiding what you've been through, but like I said, you're not letting it like control your life anymore. You've released that karma as well. You've gone through some things. It rises from the ash towards the navel center. Again and again, it makes its journey from first to third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. You've constantly gone through experiences that have changed you and made you become someone new, just to go through another experience and have that experience change you and turn you into someone new, which is kind of essentially what I was kind of getting at with the phoenix. Anyway, you've gone through multiple transformations that people can tell right off the bat you're not someone to mess with, essentially. So now I do want to get, there we go, the bat. We have darkness letting go and death leading to rebirth coming through a freaking gang. See, that's the energy I was getting from y'all. Like a little scary, a little intimidating, a little no nonsense, a little no BS. I'm not putting up with this. I don't do fake niceties. If I don't want to talk to you, I'm too grown to be talking to people I don't want to talk to. That kind of thing. But we have before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master, so you thrive in darkness. You've learned to thrive in the darkness you carry around with you that you've experienced. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. That's what I was saying with the whole people walk up to you immediately know you were a first child, like, or you are this kind of person, or you're only looking for fun, right? You can just kind of tell people's intentions or their background or how they've grown up, kind of thing, because you've been around all kinds of people. I'm getting the vibe of. Now, the bat card shows, yes, the bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns. No more lingering in the past. That's literally what I was saying before I even started reading about the bat. So yeah, the energy is very potent for you guys. It's like a darkness, an ominous, a danger to you. Or it's like, yeah, that person's dangerous, like a bad boy, bad girl, but not come from the rough side of the tracks, that kind of thing. We have balance. When in balance, accepts, adapts, and adjusts. When out of balance, refuses to let go, reminisces. To bring into balance, watch the sunrise. So, like I said, instead of dwelling in the dark and dwelling on the bad things that happen, you learn to transmute that energy into the learning lessons, into becoming someone new and looking at things from a new perspective. Okay, and now Buffalo would be where? Not there. I'm like, where would the Buffalo even be? They really should have had numbers for these decks. I mean, here we go, Buffalo. With grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. It's literally what I was saying, guys. That's crazy. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind are rise towards heaven, judgment, rapture. Um, yeah, you bring like maybe destructive energies in order to make people change, which I think I kind of alluded to in the beginning, where people meet you when they're supposed to change. And if they're a certain kind of person, you're not going to give them your energy. Like change and maybe. The buffalo sees a challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift, which is literally the embodiment of what I was saying in the past two cards and what was coming through this intuitively. You've learned to stop dwelling on the past as a bad thing, and instead of like, okay, I went through that to become who I am now, and now I'm a fully formed person who knows what they want, knows where they're going, and is not going to put up with things I don't have to anymore. Grown folk energy. Grown. I'm grown. Okay? So when in balance, trusting pure presence. When out of balance, restless, lacks gratitude. What to bring into balance, prayer and bhakti. I don't know what that is, but maybe look into it. It may help you. But like being more mindful. If you feel yourself being too negative, kind of bringing that energy in, trying to be more positive, that kind of thing. Okay. So I feel like I've been talking too much on just these 3 cards alone. So I'm going to pull tarot cards. And I feel like the tarot may or may not just confirm what we've been saying. How would strangers describe my group threes, please? How they describe them. Their personality. How they describe them, their personality. Yes. Always ever changing, ever flowing, never in one place for too long. You could travel a lot. Or like I said, the next time they see you, you become someone different. You've adopted a new model, a new regimen, a new personality, a new aesthetic. That's what I'm hearing as well. Here we have the Four of Swords, always resting, at peace. Meditation can be important as well. I do feel like meditation is important for people who tend to be like angry or feel displaced a lot, because it kind of helps ground you a little bit. So grounded yet spiritual. That spiritual essence was coming through heavy. We have the Knight of Coins. Patient, methodical, slow. No one can rush you. You're here for the journey of life, honestly. Like I don't know if you are one of those a star seed or something where you have left your original home to come and find out what it's like to live on Earth. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from you guys. And like everything's an experience for you, whether it turns out bad or good. You're here to just live life. Like I said, you're someone who's always taking risk and doing things they wouldn't normally do or shouldn't do or whatever, because it's making you become more of a person. The more things we go through and the more out of our comfort zone we go, the more we learn about ourselves and who we are, who we are at our core. What is the literally what I was saying, our essence, that kind of thing. It's reminding me of the scene in Inside Out 2 where Joy is like, look at the little person we made, and she ends up like in the beginning of the movie, they let me whew, in the beginning of the movie they allude to like a her core self, who Riley is at her core. I'm a good friend. I'm a good person. I'm a good daughter. I help my friends. I'm loyal. That kind of thing. The fundamentals of who you are. That's literally what the Joy was so proud of Riley for knowing who she was at her core in the beginning of the movie, just for that to be tested when she hit puberty and met new people and new friends, new experiences. And that's why it's important to know who you are at your core and have values, things that you will not deter from, kind of thing. Core truths, we could call it as well. And that's kind of what you have been learning about yourself. And you are someone who has that in you. So you don't give in to peer pressure, because you know who you are. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. If someone asks you, hey, you want to go smoke? No, I'm good. I'm like, are you sure? Come along. Come. I said no. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? You want to go out tonight? No. Why? I miss you. I haven't seen you forever. I said no. I don't want to go. I don't feel like going out today. Like, you're not someone that's literally trying to make people feel good about you not wanting to do certain things. That kind of vibe is coming through. So if a friend asks you, hey, do you want to go out somewhere, or a guy, literally, because we're not talking about friends here. We're talking about strangers. So a guy, hey, you want to go out? You want to meet me? Someone, you want to go out for a drink? No. Are you sure? Come on, you never know. Da, da, da. You're like, I said no. Like, you're not gonna stop me. I already, I had you pegged when you walked over here. Just the way you was walking gave me player, or someone, we're not compatible. Just leave me alone. That kind of thing. Y'all are funny. Like, period. You know what you want, and you're not letting anyone peer pressure you or tell you anything different, or try to convince you different, or say, oh, maybe, come on, you never know. You're like, no, I know. I've lived enough life and been through enough experiences to know we're not going to get along, that kind of thing. But taking the slow approach to life, not wanting to rush things or wanting to rush to grow up, is also what's coming through as well. You want to see things play out the way they're supposed to. You're not rushing. You're taking your time. And that's also funny because we have this Eight of Wands card here. I'm hearing you're all about experiences. You're very fast, but this was also coming through as like very fast changes that come. Your life changes very fast. You either like are always in and out of relationships. You're 1 minute you're booed up, the next you're not. That kind of thing. You always have different jobs. Next time people see you, like I said, a new aesthetic, that kind of thing. That's what was coming through. But with the whole patience and Knight of Pentacles kind of thing, like you're very slow moving, very stubborn. Someone who doesn't need to rush or need that instant gratification. You are in it for the long haul. So if you're dating someone, you're not rushing to get to physical, or you're not rushing to kiss. You're not rushing to get too serious. You're taking things one day at a time. Here we have justice. Interesting. How do people see you? It's very fair. Good judgment is coming through again. You always tell the truth. You're someone who's very who doesn't lie. You're blunt. I heard like painfully so. So you don't really care about hurting people's feelings. You're gonna tell it like it is at all times. Yeah, see, you're just with your sword here, which is truth, it's clarity, okay? And you're blindfolded. So it's kind of like you can read someone with your eyes closed. Just their energy tells you everything you need to know. You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. She doesn't have to see to have a reason. She doesn't have to see to know the right answer. You know? I don't have to look at you to know, nope. You know? I'm not interested. I'm good. Like I read you from a mile away is what I just heard. I read you from a mile away. Don't even waste your time, honey. You can't handle me. Is what I just heard as well. So maybe somebody says that to strangers. Oh my gosh. This whole reading is pissing me off. Like I'm just sitting here stuttering the whole time. Yeah, Queen of Swords, little bit as I said that, little bit to say that. Yeah, there's something here about swords, and she literally has a sword in her hand as well. It's like don't wake up the beast. Is what I'm hearing as well. When you're sleeping, like people don't wanna like poke the bear, essentially. Like I'm hearing never wake a sleeping baby. You're not someone to be messed with, trifled with, misjudged, no, underestimated. I'm like, huh. Same thing, misjudged, underestimated is coming through as well. Queen of Swords. Yeah, people see you as someone who's hard to get to know. You're a little bit of a heartbreaker because we have the three of swords at the bottom of the deck in reverse. But you're not doing it to be mean, or you're not purposely trying to be a heartbreaker is the energy that I'm getting for you guys. It's just you're no BS and you don't waste your time, okay? Not saying people are a waste of space. Not that you even said that, but it just came through. Not saying you're a waste of space, just saying you're not for me. You can't handle me. You can't deal with me. You're too young. You're too innocent. Like you can't handle my personal brand of darkness, of humor. Maybe you're someone that's a lot of dark humor, and a lot of people don't understand you. But it's also your experiences kind of shape who you are. You're never someone who's going to be bubbly and warm and just overly friendly. That's never going to be you because your experiences shaped this person that you are, which is all darkness. Like you, not in a bad way. Just like there's an energy that people can just tell you're not someone to be messed with or bothered, that kind of thing. And it's because you can only see in the dark. Some people only thrive in darkness, night owl energy, you know what I mean? Bats can only fully see everything in the dark. And they have like that, what is it? Something echo where they bring out those vibes, and then whatever, that's they're able to fly, and not hit anything because they have that sonar something where they let out the sounds, and based on the sounds they get back, they can tell if something's in there, in front of them, to the side of them, they can move accordingly, kind of thing. Like I said, you based off energy, not even vibes, like just the energy of someone, you can read them to filth, and you do often. Is what I just heard. You can read them to filth, and I'm like, and I do often. Okay, love that. Like you're a storm. People can't handle a storm. People don't want to handle a storm. You can be someone who loves the rain, loves darkness, loves the night, loves dark humor. All things are like gothic, and I'm hearing vampiric and something like that. Like you're just very intense, not everybody can handle you. People think they can, but they really can't. With this Justice and Queen of Swords, yeah, very blunt, honest, to the point, not mean, but just like you don't waste your time. You don't expend energy that you can save by getting to know someone you already know. It's kind of like insanity. Like you keep doing the same things over and over again before learning your lesson. You learn your lesson. You may have been the person who did it before and drove yourself insane, and now you're slightly mad. I'm hearing we're all mad here. The Mad Hatter. We're all mad here. Like now you're slightly unhinged. And you're like, I did this to myself. Now I know when I see those red flags or those signs to heed them. Because maybe even before you were able to, like, maybe deduce a pattern of like a certain stereotypical guy who's looking for anything, who's not looking for anything serious. You weren't able to deduce the patterns those kinds of guys shows, and you would just keep falling for it over and over again. Your heart would get broken. You would be sad. Your feelings would get played with, and you would just always end up like we're disappointed essentially. And now you know to follow those warnings, whether it's your intuition telling you they're no good or the signs are literally showing you, telling you they're no good. Now you know to heed at the first call. Your intuition was telling you from before they weren't no good. They were a waste of time, and you weren't listening. But that was your lesson to learn. Your cross to bear, and you finally learned that lesson. You know. So I'm going to pull some cards from this deck here to see what else wants to come through for you guys. Like very gothic, vampiric, like that kind of energy is coming through very heavily for you guys. 4? Perfectly, that's what I wanted. Thank you. We have seeking ninth house. Yeah, that's what I was saying with this Eight of Wands. You're always traveling somewhere, you're always on a vacation. You're always seeking knowledge and wisdom. You're someone who like now loves to learn. Where before you may have been like, oh no, I'm good. You love to read. You love to research. You love to gain knowledge and wisdom. You know what I mean? That kind of person. Here we have opposition. We have Aquarius the radical. You do things radically. I can see that. I can see how that would make sense for you guys. Like it's someone who doesn't do like things half-assed. They either go all in or not. You know. So it's like I'm telling you, I'm intense, and people are like, oh, I can handle that. I love intense. You're like, no, I'm intense. And they're like, oh, that's fine. And then as soon as they handle your little bit of intense, they're like, oh, they're running. I'm like, I told you. And now you can just immediately tell, because of course people could be drawn to your mysterious air and your very intense energy, of course, but only certain people can actually deal with it. There's a difference now, and I feel like you have like learned the difference between people who are just interested and can't handle you but want to see if they can try, and they're playing games in that kind of way, and then the people that actually can handle your brand of crazy or obsessive or dark or emo or gothic, and that's the people who you like know off the bat. But the people it's like maybe okay, I'm gonna stop there. I'm not trying to confuse anybody. Okay, maybe another example will come through and it will better explain it. But just literally, you don't do things half-assed. You don't believe in half truths. It's a full truth or nothing. It's I'm putting my all in or it's nothing. That kind of thing, all or nothing. And you're like a rebel in that kind of way. So maybe you are a little bit of a rebel, bad boy, bad girl. I think I did say that for you guys. And people are attracted to that energy in you. The ninth house seeking is foreign travel. That's the Eight of Wands coming through. We have adventure, Eight of Wands coming through. Higher education, that's that Queen of Swords and Justice energy coming through. We have customs, faith, beliefs. That's literally what I've been saying the whole reading. Your faith, your beliefs, your core values are is what people tell others about you, you know? Like I've never seen that person do this. I've never seen that person do that. This person said they're never gonna eat meat again, and they never ate meat again, you know? That kind of thing. We have pilgrimages, spiritual quests. You may have gone on a spiritual quest and you came back different. And that's something strangers notice about you as well. We have journalism. Maybe you travel for work and you are a journalist and you don't give up. If you have a lead, you're chasing that lead. Like, you know what I mean? And I do think you have to have very good instincts to be a journalist. And I do think you guys are giving me good instincts. But the bat alone, Queen of Swords as well, can cut straight through the heart, cut straight to the heart of things, you know? There's nothing she doesn't see coming, you know? You have religion, gurus, and risk taking. You are a risk taker, and I think I mentioned that. Sorry. We have opposition, which is relates, mirrors, interacts, confronts. Okay. Makes conscious. Yeah. Manifests, disciplines, Queen of Swords, and Justice. Absolutely. Conflicts with, tests, objectifies, and calls out. Ah, yes, period. That is you. That is you. You're forced to be reckoned with, honestly. And that's what strangers are picking up right off the bat. That radical energy in you. Interesting. So Aquarius is experimental, rational, unique, liberal, electric, group oriented, humanitarianism, free, radical, eccentric, diverse, futuristic, utopian. That's star seed energy coming through Aquarius. So I did hear in the reading one day that the reader said that Aquarius is usually resonating as star seeds because there is just always something different about them, something off about them, Also something detached about most Aquariuses, where it's hard for them to grasp emotions. Yeah, they can have great friends and be a great friend, but like when it comes to like connections, it's kind of harder for them, you know? So like an eternal bachelor, eternal bachelorette, someone who can have a bunch of different flings and not commit. And you know what I mean? Maybe people are attracted to your intensity and they want to get to know you more, but they're looking for something serious and you know you're not. So you tell them, no, buddy, go away. You're not ready for me. You know what I mean? I'll literally break your heart with the Three of Swords. And I don't mean to, but it's hard for me to grasp human emotions. I just want what I want a little bit. Maybe people can call you selfish a little bit. Like you're just here for what you're here for. You know, interesting, very interesting. Utopian, idiosyncratic, disruptive, edgy, and detached. Absolutely, yeah. And why am I hearing this something come out at night? Is it the freaks come out at night or the corpses? I don't know. The something's comes out at night, the freaks come out at night, that's coming through. Not me snapping off beat, the freaks come out at night. Excuse me. Yeah, you could be a little like slightly disorienting as well. Like people feel spacey in your presence kind of thing. Or dissociated. Okay. Now we have Aries, the fire starter. There is something very blunt, forceful, fierce, fiery about you. It's giving femme fatale. Out of all the groups today, you're giving femme fatale. I'm here for a good time and a long time, you know what I mean? Or you used to be that way and people have seen you transform into something else. Or maybe you used to be someone who wanted a long term relationship. Now you're someone who doesn't. You don't really care anymore. That kind of thing. Pick what resonates for you. Either or. You wanted serious relationships, now you don't. You used to not want them, now you do. Or you don't really care. Either or. Now we have the Aries, the fire starter, but for the Aquarius, the Queen of Swords and Justice to be coming through, it's like you're very emotionally removed from things. Like I said, you're here, but you're not. That's crazy. With the Buffalo, it's like you're spiritually grounded. So it's like 1 foot in the ether and 1 foot on earth. You're never fully in one at the same time. You're in both. Wow. Which could give that dissociative feeling people may feel around you. Strangers in particular, they don't know you that well. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Aries fire starter. Active, self starting, daring, that's the Eight of Wands. Fierce, assertive, fiery, exhilarating, innocent, on a mission, bossy. Yeah, I get that from you guys. Bossy could be a Queen of Swords as well. Loving to tell people what to do or tell them about themselves. Yeah. We have driving, sparky, courageous, selfish. I did say that exactly. Yeah, that's coming through a little bit for you guys. We have macho, okay. We have impulsive, argumentative, and competitive. So you could be someone who's very competitive as well with the Aries coming out. Maybe you're very flashy with this lightning here. Uranus is Uranus. I mean, Aquarius is Uranus. So I was supposed to say Uranus, but I said it wrong. Aquarius is Uranus energy, is also Saturn energy. But in this deck, Uranus is like always shown by lights, strikes of lightning, and that's literally who you are. Like you're people don't see. Oh, you're someone who thrives in the dark, and it may take like lightning for people to see you. Maybe you're very quiet. Maybe you're a lurker. It's giving predatorial vibes, like where you're able to just like walk and be very quiet and silent, like sneak up on people. Or maybe your energy is that kind of energy where it sneaks up on people. Wow. But yeah, there's something like lightning cuts through the darkness, literally here. and then people are able to see you. You guys are very interesting. But I can definitely see you as being argumentative. I definitely can. Very femme fatale, which is very Aries of you. Maybe there's something about your tattoos. People talk about your tattoos as well. Very stubborn, very hard to sway. I'm hearing very set in your ways as well. Um, maybe like you're habitual. Maybe you go to the same place. You go to the same. I'm so annoyed with myself today. You're very habitual. Maybe you're someone who frequents the same spots. You love to get the same food. And that's how people know you because you're always at this bar at this specific time, or you're at this diner at a specific time, or you eat at the same place at the same time. So people, they know, hey, at 8 o'clock on a Friday, this person's going to be coming in. So that person could be the person who works where you go. And of course, they would still be a stranger because you don't know them well, you know? But they know you're always going to be here at a specific time every Friday, every Thursday, every whatever, you know, very habitual creature. Night owl as well keeps coming through as well. Very interesting for you guys. I'm going to stop the reading there, though. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me. Send me an email, the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day. Whenever you watch this reading, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.